Oh God, one more time I say it's 7. The young actors and actresses. You even talk about because next you going to what did. In the first film, they won't forget. In 1994, just a few months before her death, Lana Turner had a secret conversation with journalist Florence Wagner, who had followed her for nearly 20 years. In the cassette tape that was kept secret until 2023, Lana, who was battling cancer at the time, sighed and said a sentence that made the whole crew speechless. I have loved 7 women, and in the end, all of them made me disgusted with myself. No one would have thought that Hollywood's sexiest symbol, who once made men from producers to presidents kneel, had a lover list that was all women. But even more shocking, the names of the 7 female stars on that list were all legends considered feminine standards in American cinema. So who are the 7 names that Lana Turner declared the most hated? All will be revealed in today's video. 1. Barbara Stanwyck, The Beginning of a Ruin. If you ask Lana Turner about the first time she fell in love, she won't mention a man. She'll mention Barbara Stanwyck. And if you ask her if she has any regrets, the answer is always no. I just wish I'd known sooner. It wasn't love. September 1941, Paramount Studios. Lana, then 20, is still shaking from her first leading role since Ziegfeld Girl. Barbara walks into the rehearsal room without knocking, wearing a gray silk shirt, black coffee in hand, and her eyes not looking at anyone. Everyone bows their heads except Lana. And it was that look that determined her next 3 months. Barbara didn't love anyone. She just chose who to use. For Lana, she needed a public lover to calm the rumors about her failed marriage to Robert Taylor and to hide the long nights with a married producer with 2 children. Lana didn't know. She thought she was special, especially when Barbara took her to Bungalow 5 behind the Beverly Hills Hotel, which Lana later discovered had also been a refuge for at least 3 other actresses, including one who had attempted suicide. Barbara started with small, pale blue pills, which she said were creative relaxation aids. Lana complied, wanting to be like Barbara, confident, cool, needy. And then from pills to drinks. From drinks to passing out on the sofa, while Barbara sat signing contracts with big distributors. The studio wasn't blindfolded. They watched, took notes, and after a night of paparazzi photos with Barbara at Club Del Mar, she received an invitation to Louis B. Mayer's private suite. There she was forced to sign an ethics agreement, which included a brief but chilling line: avoid intimate personal contact with female colleagues without approval from senior PR. That same day, Lana's prescription drugs were confiscated. Her personal nurse suddenly disappeared. And in her personal diary, Lana wrote, "I am being monitored like a depreciating asset." The climax came one night in late December. Lana arrived at the bungalow early and found Barbara wearing nothing but a bathrobe, pouring wine for a director who had just won an award in Venice, a married man who had once turned down a role for lacking depth. Lana ran away, collapsing right in front of the hotel. Officially, she was hospitalized for exhaustion. In truth, it was a nervous breakdown, combined with uncontrolled drug withdrawal. She disappeared from the media all winter, and when she returned for Marriage is a Private Affair, people said she looked sharper, more composed. But that wasn't maturity. That was post-traumatic stress disorder with a box of gag pills. But if Barbara was the first person to make Lana distrust her feelings, the second person to make her distrust anyone else, including herself. Greta Garbo, the real darkness in Lana Turner's memory. 2. Greta Garbo, the secret lover no one is allowed to remember. Greta Garbo was a 1930s screen icon, best known for her roles in Grand Hotel and Queen Christina. After retiring from the film industry in 1941, she lived in seclusion in an old mansion on Franklin Avenue, Los Angeles. Few people knew that in early 1946, Garbo had begun a secret relationship with Lana Turner, who had just finished recovering from a nervous breakdown at Cedars of Lebanon Hospital. They first met at a private exhibition of the artist Man Ray, held on the 3rd floor of the Getty Villa Museum in Malibu. Garbo wore all black, a silk hat that covered half her face, while Lana appeared in an off-white Dior dress. A few weeks later, Lana became a regular at the Franklin House, where there was no clock, the curtains were always drawn, and classical music played all night. But the mystery soon turned to obsession. One rainy April night, while searching through a drawer for her medicine cabinet, Lana discovered a small camcorder hidden in an old RCA record player pointed directly at her bed. A few days later, a video of her sleeping, her hair disheveled and her clothes disheveled, was sent to her agent at Nyarmar and MGM. No message, no sender. Immediately, the studio's executives ordered her to come to the Culver City headquarters, where she was forced to sign a contract addendum called a morality agreement. This document absolutely forbade all homosexual relationships, even discreet ones, for the duration of the contract. The agreement, Lana later said, forced me to consider my feelings as sinful acts. But the greatest pain did not come from that clause. A few weeks after the threats, Lana unexpectedly saw a strange woman leaving Garbo's house early in the morning. The woman was Marie Dubois, a French photographer with whom Garbo had lived in Zurich in 1943. Lana was stunned. She realized she was not the only one. She was not even the first. She was just the latest in a long line of women kept around until Garbo found someone more interesting. When asked about Garbo in 1953, Lana simply replied, "I thought I was the end of her life. Later I learned I was just a repeat." 3. Tallulah Bankhead, the woman who turned Lana Turner into a laughingstock. Between 83 powerful Hollywood eyes, the third person on the list is Tallulah Bankhead. In September 1948, Lana met Tallulah at a movie party at the Garden of Allah Hotel, where extramarital affairs were often implied but never mentioned. While Lana was still struggling with the aftermath of a public and noisy breakup, Tallulah appeared like a storm, offering her a gin and tonic, and half-jokingly asking, "Want to learn how to live without a man?" Then came evenings filled with the cigarettes and French perfume. Tallulah took Lana to places away from the press, introducing her to a circle of underground female artists who had been dismissed by studios as too gender-blind. Lana was not afraid. She felt herself. Until she began to get used to the embrace, began to believe in the care. Then Tallulah decided to pull back the curtain. January 18th, 1949, at the Laurel Canyon Mansion, at a cocktail party sponsored by Columbia Pictures, attended by more than 80 industry heavyweights. Tallulah asked the DJ to stop the music and call Lana to the center of the hall.